But so far, at this week's upfronts, one theme seems to be original programming that doesn't just repeat the formulas found on CSI or Law and Order. Fox has ordered Terra Nova, executive produced by Steven Spielberg, which is set in prehistoric times and co-stars quite a lot of dinosaurs. NBC has Smash, a musical drama about a Broadway production, and Grimm, a police drama about Grimm's fairy tale characters come to life. ABC, well, they're adding 8 dramas, 5 comedies to their schedule. Who's so far coming out on top? Well, here to give us his read on the state of the broadcast television industry is Peter Tortorici. I just got so tongue-tied with that long read. I'm sorry, Peter.
That's okay.
He was a top executive at CBS Entertainment from 1987 to 1995. He also served as CEO of Telemundo. He's the CEO now of GroupM Entertainment. You're watching these upfronts with a different perspective now, having once been, up there pitching away. What's your read on these first few days of the upfronts? Who's on top?
Well, it's hard to say who's on top. I think in terms of the networks, it's very hard to handicap. But I'm willing to say that I think at this point the viewer may be on top. I think there's more imagination, more product, more risk-taking, which I think is a good thing, frankly, in bringing new things to the viewer environment. I think there's been a real focus on what Ted Harbert yesterday at NBC talked about, less about pushing the envelope and more about broadcasting 101, which is building Big Ten experiences that they really believe that viewers are going to be attracted to. So I give them an A for effort.
So where is that coming from, this drive towards newness? Is it the fact that ad rates do appear to be going up?
Well, I think that's helpful. First of all, when there's a wind at our backs in terms of the macroeconomic marketplace and there's more money in the system, that encourages investment. But it's also part of the life cycle of the network lineups. They exist and kind of go along on their own for a period of time, and then they demand regeneration and redevelopment in order to stay fresh. So I think you're seeing networks that really have an imperative to continue to change and grow. NBC, obviously, being in the position that they've been in, but also ABC. ABC's hits have gotten a little long in the tooth. There's new leadership there, and I think a real sense of purpose to try to redefine who they are for their viewers. I
want to talk about NBC because they've been needing a hit for a long time now.
Right.
And I know you're very familiar with the new person in charge over there who had been at CBS for a while, had come over from Showtime.
Right.
Talk to me about Bob Greenblatt.
I'm a big fan, first of all. I say that unabashedly. I think he's got great taste. I think he has really good sense in terms of story and storytelling. And he's also very user-friendly in terms of working with creative people. I think the key to those jobs is not only attracting great talent and recognizing great ideas, but really being able to nurture them and work with them, because it's a very, very difficult process. It's a collaborative process with a lot of different voices, and somebody has to kind of steer and navigate through that. And Bob has those skills to be able to do that.
Now,
so
is that a story, though, of a single player, or is it the fact that he had that time built in at a cable network, which was about creating a reason for viewers to find the channel in the first place? Right? Showtime really had to have that mandate of creating original programming.
Without question. I think Showtime had a particular challenge because it didn't have a very large voice, it didn't have a very large constituency, and it needed to make noise and become attractive to a viewership. And he created series with partners, obviously, that were able to do that. But I think Bob's got a very diverse set of experiences, from having worked at Fox early in his career, having been a producer of things that were as landmark as 6 Feet Under, and also having produced Broadway shows himself. So I think it's all of those skills together that make him valuable to the marketplace right now.
So we see the resurgence, or at least the return, of some scripted programming here. It seems like the pipeline had just been filled with reality TV and this push towards live events to try to make viewers watch the shows as they are broadcast instead of on record.
Yeah, I think, again, it's recognizing that media patterns are a reflection of consumer behavior, and then again trying to take the consumer where they are to try to reach them with an experience that makes it both accessible and powerful. So I think what you've observed before about live events being more valuable, I think, is very true. But again, I think that network television has a unique opportunity because of its reach and it's also its funding mechanism to bring things into the viewer experience that otherwise might not exist.
So network's not dead? Yeah.
No, by no means. By no means. You'd never see a show like Terra Nova anyplace else but on a broadcast network because of its sheer size and scale. And whether it works or not, again, A for effort for bringing something that ambitious to the viewer.
All right. Peter, thanks for giving us your read and your comparison there of what you've seen sitting in those seats watching the upfronts thus far.